Have you had or recently experienced a dream you were pursuing crash and burn? All the work you did, all the thoughts you put into it feels almost like a waste. And you're trying to pick the pieces back up, but you don't feel like it. You feel tired, feel exhausted, almost as if you're sort of glad it happened. If this is what you're feeling, I want to share something with you today that can hopefully illuminate this situation. Maybe you can reinterpret the moment, as I've experienced the exact same thing and came out of it. If you are a new viewer, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. And if you guys want to be a part of my community in a deeper way, you can click that button below and you sign up to my monthly newsletter where we talk about rebuilding purpose back into your life, rediscovering who you are, and then moving towards an ego-soul integrated lifestyle. When we encounter dreams that we have and we put time into them and eventually they crash, if they do, or even if they don't, you accomplish them, but you feel something is hollow. There's a half of you that is not participating in this. And if that's what you're feeling, then more than likely, the ego has taken control. And when I say ego, I mean the ego in relationship to the unconscious. The ego is obviously what you experience and see, and you can hear your inner voice and make decisions. But then beneath that is the unconscious, where mysteries lie, where your traumas lie, your pains, your complexes, inferiority complex, father complex, Oedipal complex. We all have them. But when one of them, two of them, or all of them are ignored, suppressed, that turn to repression, which essentially means that we no longer have conscious awareness. Completely gone. Perhaps we did one at one point in our lives, but maybe we had to suppress it because it was something needed in the moment. We had to do it to survive. But instead of contending with it later on, we've allowed it to just be pushed, causing us to feel fragmented. And what ends up happening is the split begins. Split between the conscious and the unconscious, the ego and the soul. The soul is what gives you this strong intuition about a direction in your life. This feeling that you are connected with something foreign, something alien to you. You're not always in contact, comes and goes, but when it comes in, you feel it and you know it. And often some of us reject it, but some of us want to contend with it and try to understand what it is. Many of us believe this to be God or the universe. You can interpret it in any way you want. But you know and you feel it's there. When we cut off from it, and the ego is now breached with the complex, it takes control. It tells you that in order to heal the pain you have, you must accrue a lot of money. Or to heal the pain you have to have 1,000 friends. Or you have to sleep with 100 girls. And as time goes on, you feel more and more vacant, internally vacant. And no matter how much you consume, it's a black hole that will never be satisfied until you do one thing. Until you stop and you turn inward and you confront and you challenge your unconscious and bring it forward into the conscious realm. So therefore you can deal with it and manage it. Because if we don't, stories control our whole lives. The narrative to which you see the world. And when we don't contend with it and you split off, then it will breach through. And when it breaches through, it warps your view. And you almost can't help yourself. Which is why, circling back, when some dreams die, we almost feel a sense of relief. Because when things get shaky, when dreams collapse, your identity is gone, that is a moment of opportunity. An opportunity to reimagine and reorganize yourself. You see, 3 channels have to be clear: your past, present, future. But it all starts with the past. You can do as much work as you want in the present. You can optimize your day to the minute. You can optimize your vision to the year and the month and the day and time. And you may get far. You may make money. You can maybe have a lot of friends or girls you want to sleep with. And if that's what you want to live for, that's fine. But without dealing with the past, you are not living an integrated wholeness experience where you're living with full intention. You are co-authoring the story with the soul, ego, and the foreign. The alien, not literally, but the forces that exist outside our boundary of knowledge that we touch and feel but can't see. And when all 3 are aligned, purpose comes naturally. And if you see this dream collapse, identity collapse, as not a downward spiral, it very well can be, but always understand that it is a stepping stone, a direction to the new evolved you. It's a ritual process. We've lived with rituals for thousands of years. We have lost its symbolism, we've lost its meaning, but it's there, and we need it. Especially as men, the masculine needs it. We need the transition. We need to go from boy to man, and not man in the sense we're seeing today on social media, but through harnessing the archetypal energies that have been there for thousands of years: the king, the warrior, magician, lover, the king that holds the psyche together, the warrior that does the bidding of the king and is disciplined, aimed and loyal to its ideal, the magician that is the carrier of knowledge, the acquirer of knowledge, holder of wisdom, and the sensual that experiences life and nature deeply and has an integral relationship with it, that feels moved by poetry, by particular kinds of movies, by a scenic view, by the sight of their children, by the relationship with their wives. It is the integration of that that moves mankind in a direction that is fruitful, bliss, aimed, and whole. And that is a purpose waiting for you. But unless you contend with the past, unless you let things go, you bring them forward into the conscious mind. Give yourself a sacred space. Find a place in your house. Sit alone to your own thoughts. Sit and deep inhales, deep exhales with the intention that you are going to have a conversation with your deep unconscious today. And you know what? You are going to feel choked. You might feel this sense of tension, like you don't want to do it. There's something in you saying, no, we don't have time. We have to do things. We have responsibilities. All those are excuses to avoid the pain. Experience the pain. Breathe through it. Tell yourself it's okay. Remember, when you reflect inwardly, love, compassion, curiosity, adventure with a firm hand. Gently firm to guide you through this. I know this is going to be painful. This is something we're going to have to do, but we're going to do it together. And we're going to come out of it at the other end stronger and more integrated. And by integration, again, I mean that there is no stone unturned internally. There is clear communication from ego to soul. You give yourself that sacred moment. Breathe deeply through those spikes of intense emotion that comes through, which it will. Breathe through it, let it subside and calm, and reinvestigate again. Bring it forward. Maybe you have to make peace with yourself. Maybe you have to apologize to the child. Maybe to the inner child that was abandoned. But it doesn't go away. It forces its hand in some way or another. We see all the time. We've met people who are adults in body, but child in their psychology, child in their spiritual development. We've seen it. We know it. And maybe perhaps we've seen it in ourselves. I know I have. I'm no exception to that rule. So you give yourself that space, you reflect inwardly, you bring it forward. Maybe you make peace, maybe you forgive. But then once that happens, there's aspects of you that forgive and let go. Then comes the integration. You accept areas of yourself that perhaps you've rejected and been shameful of, but it's brought you to where you are today. It has made you who you are. The resilience, the patience, the understanding, the ability to not give up no matter how bad it gets. Maybe you go through a slump for a period of time, but something is pulling you forward. God or the universe is pulling you forward. And you know it, you can feel it. And embrace it and understand it. And then comes the third stage. You reimagine your life moving forward. Does that mean you're fully integrated? No. But does that mean you're now in an elevated state? Now able to move on to the next two stages of present and future, where you can now dial in your days and now dial in your future to the years. I have a whole process of a 3-6-1 principle that organizes your visions into a breakdown, and then a daily practice to get yourself optimized without feeling burdened by it and imprisoned by it. I have all that in my newsletters. That is when everything gets aligned. You feel this sense of power, ancient power that points you to where you need to go. And you'll have no question that's where you have to go. Not from anger, not from bitterness, not from jealousy, not from a child desire to have everything flow upward to you, that you just deserve everything, but a deeper calling for people, for humanity, for your family, for the people you live around. If this, sometimes I got carried away on that one, but if that resonated with you, and you want to be a part of a community that moves towards ritual, transition from old psychology to new psychology, old stories to the new evolved story, rebuilding purpose, rediscovering who you truly are, and living an ego-soul integrated lifestyle. Click that button below, join my monthly newsletter, and in return, I want to send you my 3-step identity rebuilding guide. It's a toolkit that you can use. It's something I wish I had when I went through my identity loss. And it's something I am beyond excited to share with you. This is more to me than just a job or a thing to do. This is a deep purpose. And I'm going to say something I haven't said on video, but this is a divine purpose for me. And so I am more than happy to pass this along. Thank you very much, and I'll see you on the next video.